What's going on, guys? King Shrats here, back another video on the channel, and today we are back at my favorite toxic relationship, which just got a lot more toxic. Let me explain. Wingstop dropped a flavor starting today that is called, which is up on your screen and described as a sweet honey in a fiery dry hub. So of course, dry hub, which is up on your screen described as a sweet honey in a fiery dry hub. Why can't I talk? Which I'll pop up on your screen. The description is a sweet honey in a fiery dry rub. Now that sounds delicious. So you know, even though I'm in a toxic relationship, that I decided to pop over to Wingstop and get myself an order of these. So that is what we did today. Now here's the problem. I got my bag, I did my order, and when I grabbed my bag, everything seemed to be in order. Got home, opened it up, and what looks like buffalo was put instead of actual hot honey dry rub. So I don't have the flavor. And I've always said that I have a toxic relationship with Wingstop, and it just got a lot more toxic again. I'm already home. It is what it is. We move. I guess I can try it again or something like that, but I don't actually have the flavor. This might be it. It smells and looks a lot like buffalo, in my opinion. So I guess we will find out. They do have a triple meal deal, which supposedly gives you 6 wings, which I have here, 6 boneless wings, as well as 2 tenders and an order of fries. So that is what I did get. I think it comes out to $17, and I got all of it in the hot honey dry rub. This just looks an awful lot like buffalo to me. I'm not the happiest person in the world, but that is why I have a toxic relationship with Wingstop. So I'm gonna be perfectly honest, it's probably my last time I'm going to Wingstop for a while, because that's just not cool. They put it all in a bag, didn't even tell me, and it's on the receipt right here. You can see it right there on the bottom. The tri-meal deal with all of the hot honey dry rub. Yeah, so it is what it is. I love you guys anyway. The show must go on, so we're gonna eat it anyway because I can't just hand them back a bag of wings, and I'm not the type of person that's gonna start complaining. But I know people from Wingstop watch my videos, and if you do, we are toxic. Me and you, we got to work on our communication skills, bro. But just like anything else, instead of being upset, I'm just gonna laugh it off. That is why I have laughter tattooed on my hand, because that is what we do. So let's get into some of these wings. What it's supposed to be. Is this hot honey? Hold up. This is why we toxic. That smells like buffalo, bro. I don't care what y'all say. What do you think? This looks like buffalo to me. Is that buffalo? Is buffalo on your screen? Let's find out. If this is supposed to not be buffalo, it tastes exactly like buffalo. Their wings are good though. Is this honey? Okay, I'm getting some sweet. I'm confused, bro. I'm so confused right now. It's like, it's so good, but this tastes an awful lot like buffalo. I feel like I'm losing my mind, which is what happens in a toxic relationship. We're just gonna roll the cameras, bro. Nah, that's buffalo, man. Yeah, that's buffalo. Did y'all see the picture of that wing? This is the weirdest thing I've ever done in my life. No, this is honey. Y'all so toxic, bro. Okay. I'm sorry. See why we're toxic? I'm running this, bro. I'm not editing this. This is why we're toxic. Y'all don't believe me when I say I'm getting sweet now, but you know what? I want to chuck this wing across the room. This is what, bro. Wingstop, bro. Wingstop. Why are we so toxic, bro? Are you like this with other people who make content or no? Because I'm serious. This looks exactly like buffalo, and y'all saw the picture. It don't look like this. This is why toxic relationships. Okay, let me get a big dip or a dip. This is gonna be good and all. I'm getting hot and I'm getting sweet now. I am. It does taste like buffalo sauce with honey, if you ask me. But this is going to be this. It just does look a little darker now. I'm running this, bro. We are so toxic, man. Honestly, I can't tell if I'm imagining things or not. It tastes like buffalo sauce, but I'm getting hints of sweet here and there. Is that what it's supposed to be? Is this my legacy? I'm getting sweet. I'm not crazy. The sauce does look a little darker and a little thicker than normal buffalo sauce. It don't look like the ones in the thing. I'm crazy. I'm going crazy. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. After eating 4 wings, let's try a tender. I'm losing my mind with this place, bro. Y'all know Wingstop and me. I've done so many videos there, and I've talked to people. We are just hella toxic. Let's go with the. It's slightly spicier than buffalo, so I'm gonna say that this is probably it. Buffalo has less spice than this for sure. I don't know if they didn't have the flavor or not. I'm losing my mind, bro, I swear. Well, I can tell you this for sure. What I'm eating, unequivocally, big word time, it tastes like buffalo sauce that's slightly spicier with a hint of sweet. I expected way more honey if this is what it is. So, I don't know anyone who has these so far. Yeah, you're falling. Me too. In and out of love with Wingstop. I'm trying one more. I got flats. I know y'all like flats more than I do. But if this is what it is. No, this is buffalo. What am I eating? Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I can only do what I'm provided with. Flats are stupid. This is crazy. If this is what I'm eating, and this is the hot honey, dry, which I don't think so. It tastes like buffalo, but I swear I'm getting like sweet in here. And just looking at this sauce, it does look a little thicker than normal buffalo sauce, but it tastes just like, I think it's like a buffalo. So, I don't know if I had them or not. That is the unequivocal truth. So I'm just gonna dip them in these ranch. I got lemon pepper fries though, which usually is a dub. They are. I hate this place, bro. I love this place, but I don't like this place. I'm just not quite sure what to think about these people. I think I'm being trolled at this point. I really do. That is what it is. I'm gonna go ahead and grab me one of the flavor swaps, because they did get that right. We got my lemon garlic, one of my favorite on the menu. Extra well done. All drums. I'm just sticking to these. I will also say this. I've seen videos of employees making it, so I don't think this is it. I don't. Which is a shame, but we move. But looking at the videos that I did see, which I looked at right before I did this video, for the reason of saying, did I get the right flavor or not? I don't think I did. I got too much faith in Wingstop to not do that. Let's get a lemon pepper. But what I will say is this. It did look like a wet sauce that they put dry seasoning on top of. That would have been a W. I'm different from most people when it comes to my Wingstop order. which I've said a billion times, because I prefer the dry rubs. And when I saw hot honey dry rub, I expected a dry rub like this, but that's not what it looks like it is. Either way, I'm gonna hope and pray that this isn't it. I'm 90% sure it's not. But I got all this food, and I was already in here setting up my stuff when I realized what was in the box. And I think they really tried to get over, because I did check the bag. You know how they steal the bag with this? This is what they did. They got the New York Knicks bag secured. The official partner of the New York. Now, we both taking L's then, I guess. Sorry, Knicks fans. Lemon pepper should go to. Still go to. They put it all the way in the bottom, because when I opened it back up in the car, I saw on the top that the big box, which is what those wings came in, were all on the bottom. So I guess keep your eyes peeled, because I don't think these are it. I hope these ain't it, because if so, yeah, it's an L, but I don't think so. I was excited too. If people don't know about the toxic Wingstop relationship I have, it goes back a year or two. This is Buffalo. And my Baby Yoda got messed up. Since I got a Baby Yoda shirt on, you can't see it. There it is. Look at my man. I spilled ranch on it. Like I said, I've done multiple videos at Wingstop, and some of the stuff that I've suggested, and I'm not taking credit for it, it just seems awfully funny and coincidental that I've made multiple videos suggesting different ideas that they do. One of them being thigh stop. One of them being putting thigh stop on a normal menu. Also a Wingstop chicken sandwich, which they haven't released out into full markets, but they have. And I know they watch my videos because they comment on them. So I was just like, hey, say hi to you, boy, do something. I'm not asking for like free wings or money. No, I'm not like that. But the toxic relationship thing is kind of a joke. It's not like really toxic. But I always seem to have crazy things happen when I order Wingstop or when I get from Wingstop and all kinds of stuff. So that's the thing. If anybody's watching from Wingstop, I still love you. I'm sure this was an honest mistake or something. I don't know. But I did get some Parmesan Corn. I wanted to try this. I did lemon pepperonis last time, so we did Parmesan Corn this time. They say you're supposed to dunk it in the ranch. Of course, it's only on the top. But let's see what we're working with. That's pretty good. I mean, that's one thing with toxic. So toxic. Anyway, I don't want to sit here and dwell on negative stuff. It'll get dealt one way or another. Either I'll get the flavor eventually, or whatever. So, I'm not the type of person we move, but do y'all watch Power? I'm gonna go off topic. I'm a big fan of the show Power. I even watched the spin-offs, right? Power came out in Stars, if you don't know. 50 Cent was like the brainchild behind it, supposedly. And there were 6 seasons of this show about a dude and his best friend. My man Ghost was living a double life. And, you know, I really liked the show. I even watched the spin-offs, which they have 3 right now. But that's not the point. The point is, I'm also a big horror movie guy. And I watched a horror movie last night that was starring Omari Hardwick, which is the lead, or was the lead, in Power. And I believe it was called Spell. I watched this last night. You know, it was Sunday, something to do. No like sports on. I don't watch hockey. It's the only thing that's really on. So I watched this movie called Spell with Omari Hardwick. I don't know if anybody's seen it. I think it's been out like a year. It's on Amazon Prime. It was actually good, man. And I'm not really into those kind of movies. It's supernatural. You know, it's a horror movie, but it's more of a supernatural element. I'm more of the slasher film kind of guy. But without giving any spoilers, because I know people like to watch some of the things that I like to suggest if you haven't seen it. It stars with Mario Hardwick. It's about a guy who was estranged from his father. His father passed away, and he lived in like the Appalachia area of Kentucky, like the mountains. You know, foothills. Appalachian mountains aren't really like crazy high, but he lived up in there. Well, he has a family. He takes his family on vacation. Not vacation, but going to the funeral, and they get in an accident while they're flying there, and he wakes up in a room with a woman who's trying to take care of him, but she like doesn't let him leave, and she like has like a voodoo doll of him, and she says she's trying to nurse him back to health, but she's like really not. But it's really good. If you guys like horror movies or supernatural movies, and you have Amazon, like check this movie out. I thought it was just like, I'm not really into supernatural movies. I've said that, but I thought it was hella creepy. Like just creepy as hell. And I thought the actors did a great job, and it traced back to like, you know, a little bit of history in there. It was just, I don't want to give away spoilers, but you find out more about the people that are holding him, you know, nursing him back to health. Again, not scary, more of a thriller, but I don't know. I guess maybe I need to go back. A lot of y'all, when I do my horror movie rankings, and this is me checking myself because I love y'all, you know, I'm not gonna act like I know everything. I have opinions, but you can always be swayed on opinions. That's why they're opinions. And I've always said repeatedly that I'm not a big fan of horror, like supernatural horror movies, you know, ghosts and things of that nature. It's just not my thing. When I'm watching this movie, I'm like, yo, I enjoy this. Do I like supernatural stuff? So, with that being said, I'm gonna man up. I'm gonna check myself, because I feel like that's part of being an adult, and say, I need to spin back and watch some supernatural stuff. You know, a lot of people suggest like The Conjuring. In fact, if you're still watching, I love you first of all. Second of all, drop some supernatural, some horror movies that you like. If you've been watching the channel, Nick, drop some stuff that I haven't watched. Or that you think are up there in your horror movie rankings that I never mentioned. Somebody mentioned Jeepers Creepers. And I said this once, and I'm just gonna kind of, you know, reiterate what I said. Jeepers Creepers for me, I just didn't like it that much. I watched them all. I've seen 1, 2, and 3. Not to say they're bad movies, but just not my thing, man. I don't know. That was a weird thing. I just watched Jeepers Creepers 2 again. Someone mentioned it. I was like, you know, let me go watch it again. Yeah. And I started to realize this today. I was having a conversation. A lot of people around like horror movies too. When it comes to horror movies, I'm big on the villains. I feel like they make the movie go. The only exception to that to me is Scream. Scream was more about the heroes. It was more about Sidney Prescott. It was more about the survivors than anything. When you think Scream, to me, you think Neve Campbell, David Arquette, Courtney Cox, more than Ghostface. Again, this is my opinion. In Scream, Ghostface been a different person or people every single movie. But the constant has been Sidney Prescott. It's more central around her. As opposed to a Halloween, you know, where there's a Michael Myers. Or Friday the 13th, where it's the Jason. You can change anybody, but Jason's going to be there. So, since I'm more of a villain person, I rank my horror movie villains before. That's kind of where I stand with my horror movies. Now, going into that, giving reasons why, for me, even though I love Jason and Michael Myers, I think that they're not the best horror movie villains, and I'm going to tell you why. I've said this briefly, but I've been having more conversations, and I want to get back to it. To me, the iconic horror movie slashers. I ranked them before, but you don't have to go back and watch it. I'll name, again, just giving you examples, my top 4. Okay, we had Freddy Krueger, and again, this is where I spin off from everybody because no one agrees with me with these, but that's okay. We had Chucky. This is not in order. We have my man the Leprechaun. So, there's some of these buffalo. Or is it buffalo? I still don't know. The thing I've realized, not just the humor that these like characters that I'm bringing and talking about, because the Jigsaw has no humor. It's them. It's also the actors playing them. To me, they're so iconic that they cannot be replaced. The job that these actors portraying these villains do was so good that they have become synonymous with that character. They tried to replace almost all of them. They tried to replace Freddy Krueger. You can't replace Robert Englund. No Robert Englund, no Freddy. He's so good at it. I just watched Nightmare on Elm Street again. And I'm not joking, I just watched Freddy's Dead. So that is part, what, 6? 6. I just watched it again yesterday. I'm watching this, I'm cracking up watching Freddy with his ah ha ha, you know how he does with all his stuff. And his stupid one-liners, and they're kind of corny, but he hams it up so well that it's almost so bad it's good. And to me, you just can't replace him. The 2010 movie was actually not a bad movie, but if it had Robert Englund in it, even him playing it more sinister, which was what he did in Wes Craven's New Nightmare, would have been exponentially better than what they replaced it with. And that's nothing against the guy who did it the first time. It's just you can't replace that guy. They tried to do it with Chucky. They made a Child's Play remake, and Mark Hamill, who's one of the best voice actors really ever. You can look up his resume. He does a great job. He's done the Joker. He's very good. They tried to replace him, and they can't. You needed Brad Dourif. You needed that Chucky voice. You needed his mannerisms, his voice inflections, the things that he says, the way he delivers them. It's just so good. Leprechaun. They tried to remake. They did Leprechaun Returns without Warwick Davis. The movie is actually not that bad. But if they had Warwick Davis in it, it would have been probably the best one in the series, which is crazy to say. I love Leprechaun. The movies are kind of mid, but it's the villain-centric thing that I guess that's why I put them so high up. I was just thinking about just having conversations today. That's not Toretto. I know Toretto. That's not Toretto. So, last again, you have the Jigsaw. You can't not do, like, they made how many Saws? 9? How many did they make without him? 1? And even the bad movies. And even though he was actually gone in the third one, his character was, they killed him off. And they brought him back for every single other movie after that, because you can't make that movie without him. Think about the people that replaced him. Detective Hoffman. Amanda. Can't do it. So, when it comes to Michael Myers and Jason, their characters, and that's by design, not their fault, just what I look for in a movie, they don't have any personality. And I like personality. So I guess it just comes down to what you're looking for. If you would rather have, and some people do, that soulless, mindless, scary entity type of being, like Jason, like Michael Myers, they don't say anything. They just stalk. And that's fine. Just not my thing. I realized that today. Still great. But to me, there's nothing better than, like, Jigsaw explaining why he does what he does. That scary-ass voice, you know. Sometimes he gets angry, but he has that personality. And let's not get started with Freddy's to go. And how many different people have played Jason? Maybe 4? At least. Kane Hodder did, the person that did the original. Ken Kirzinger did the remake, so there's already 3. Michael Myers, same thing. There's been about 3 or 4 Michael Myers, if not more. But you can put anybody behind that mask and the movie still goes. So, I'm not saying that people's opinions are wrong for saying Michael Myers is goated. But for me, just not my preference. And I'm the weirdo, I will admit I'm weird, that prefers villains in movies. That includes superhero movies, all of it. You can talk about the Batman ones. My favorite characters are Bane, the Joker Nicholson version, and it goes on and on. I only get to about the 4th or 5th when I start getting into who's the best Batman. Also, my opinion came up to this. I'm all over the place, but that's fine. The best Batman right now, best Batman in the costume, believe it or not, I've watched them all again. It's Robert Pattinson. The best Bruce Wayne is Christian Bale. The best even is Michael Keaton. When I say even, they were good in both parts, but they're better alternatives. I think Christian Bale played a perfect Batman. As Bruce Wayne, not as Batman. Batman, he's like, it was good, but Pattinson just has like, when he walked on the screen, his presence was ridiculous. And that's just him starting out. You know, you could see the intensity in his eyes. And again, it's not Christian Bale's fault. That's how the movies were designed. But because Pattinson played this earlier version that was kind of just starting out, you could literally tell his like adjustment of having to do things. Like when he jumps off of the building and he's not sure if he should do it yet. Just his stuff when he did that, or in the opening scene when he comes out and there's the bad guys there and he's just kind of walks in really slow, you know, was probably one of the dopest cold opens, hero-wise, of any Batman. It's still not better than the Joker's cold open, or Bane's, but hero-wise, it was the best. Christian Bale played Bruce Wayne. It was fantastic, because you could see him, even in his eyes, struggling on who he had to be. You know, he tried to play this like dim-witted person, even though he wasn't, to provide almost a disguise for who he really was. You get what I'm saying? I don't know if this makes sense. I'm talking out loud, because I'm annoyed, and we somehow got superhero films. But sometimes you see him, I'll give you a perfect example. There's a scene in The Dark Knight where he sees the car that's holding, I forgot the person's name, but the Joker basically put a hit out on a guy, and he was driving around town. He was a person that worked for Wayne Enterprises. And as Bruce Wayne, he runs into his car with a Lamborghini. And then you can see him trying to do it and be a hero, but he gets out of the car, he sits in front of it, and Commissioner Gordon says something like, you know, that was awfully brave what you did. And he like really aloofly is like, what, he's trying to catch a light? Even though he knew what he did. You get what I'm saying? He did it in the same way when he was like swimming in the pool, but he saw Rachel, that kind of thing. But he was the best Bruce Wayne. Pattinson, best Batman. But I'm a villain guy. When it comes to Marvel, the MCU, my favorite character in the MCU was Thanos. I love Thanos. Thanos to me is one of the best villains ever created in comic book movies. He was unstoppable, but he really thought what he was doing was just. And somehow you kind of could see what he was thinking, even though it was screwed up. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. I want to get one more thing in. I've never, ever tried a Wingstop brownie. So I got one today. Paid $3 for this funky brownie and the wrong order. So let's do that. I have never had your brownie. I've been doing all kinds of different franchise brownies, so I want to see where yours stacks up. This is what is it? Double chocolate fudge, triple chunk fudge. Is it on here? Nope. I'm gonna go with triple chunk fudge. It's their brownie. It is what it is. Let's see. I've never had one of these before. Does it bang or does it not? This looks like an actual fucking turd in here, bro. This is... I'm still on the fence. I don't know what this is, but we're gonna find out. What is this? Let's get that bite in. I love a fudgy ass brownie, man. I just love me a fudgy brownie. Look how fudgy that is. Just fudgy. See how fudgy that thing is right here? I don't know where this ranks though. This one's good, but there are better. I think even Firehouse had a better one. But with that being said, it's hard to make a bad brownie. As long as it's not dry, and this isn't dry. So, my only gripe, am I being cheap if I say $3 is too much? Can I get like, doesn't it feel better when something's not $2.99? and it's like $1.99. Doesn't it just feel better in your head? Is that it? I feel like if this was $1.99, I would be like saying its praises. Because it's $3. Am I being cheap? Probably. That is good. We are so toxic, bro. Listen, I tried to make lemonade out of the lemons that I was given. But I'm not the happiest person in the world when it comes to it. We'll see if I can get this straightened out. But I was still going to check in and make a video. I know people enjoy the Wingstop. I enjoy the Wingstop. The food was actually good. If this is the hot honey, that is kind of mid, in my opinion. I still would stick with lemon pepper, lemon garlic, lemon hot. But this does look like it has a deeper hue. It's still hella confusing. Wingstop, we are in a toxic relationship. But we are in a relationship till death do us part. We're kind of getting married. No ring, though. Or wedding. Or really anything that resembles a wedding. Just we stuck together. It is what it is. We do what we gotta do. But that's gonna be the end of the video. A little bit of a letdown, but we do move. I still made the best of the situation. I'm super annoyed if you can't tell. But we will be back tomorrow. Either way, more content. I love Yada Hand Signs. They made it to YouTube.